Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Anthony Edwards has been a big disappointment this year. That's right. You guys know I don't like this guy. And not particularly because of his game. It's because of his mouth. Is why I don't like this guy. Not because they compared him to Michael Jordan. And he kind of deflected. Well, last year I think he did like an interview. But because this guy runs his mouth. And he done diss past players. He done said he will give Michael Jordan that work on a one-on-one and all this stuff. And to me, he's been a disappointment this year. And you might look at his stats and say, what? This guy putting up 27, 4, 5, shooting, what's he shooting, like 43% from the three? It's not good enough. It's not good enough, folks. It's not good enough. And we'll show you why. And first, let's understand this guy came into the league, I think 1920 season, and he came in a soft, weak era. It's not like he was coming back in the he was coming in the 90s when Kobe had to sit on the bench. Kobe Bryant had to sit on the bench. Kobe Bryant today is to most, not to me, but of course to me, he's a top 5 skilled player of all time. That's a lot of that stuff is up to debate when we talk about a skilled guy, because these guys today, they take it it's out of hand. They're not taking it in the right context, right? And what they call skill is this bagging, dribbling around a million times, carrying and traveling and doing all this nonsense. What we call skills back in the day, and the dude has skills, it depended on positional skills, right? So at every position, center, power forward, small forward, point guard, shooting guard, you had to have a certain skill at each one of those positions, right? So we didn't say, oh, this guy, he's a skilled player. He's the best skilled player. No, if anything, we would say he's a great skilled center. He's a great skilled power forward. He's a skilled small forward, a skilled shooting guard, a skilled point guard. That's what we would say. Because the game was always a position basketball game. So you had to have a certain skill at each position. That's right. You had to have a certain skill. Today is positionless. So everybody thinks that they're basically a shooting guard. That's what everybody really thinks. Even Victor Wembanyama, launching up 13 threes a game, this guy thinks he's a shooting guard. He plays on the perimeter 98% of the time in the game. It's the craziest thing you ever seen in your life. But it just coincides with this era of life, this era of basketball that's just all nutty, right? What I compared this to the other day, and many times, is like if this is how they ran the NFL. When the ball hiked, everybody on the offensive line could just take off and catch the ball. Not only the receivers or the running back sometimes or the tight end, just everybody on the offense just take off, and the quarterback can throw to anybody now. This is what they have made the NBA into, a laughingstock. And again, this coincides with the LeBron era, in these guys now upholding the standard of NBA basketball as the face of the league, and other players who are cold faces of the league who don't have enough balls to say, we don't want this game like this. We want to play a position style basketball. We don't want to shoot all these threes. No great player today is stepping forward to say this is nonsense. We're losing viewership. I heard something today about what's his name? Gilbert Arenas, this clown. I always wondered why these guys supposed to made hundreds of millions in their career in their podcasting now. It's just funny to me how these guys still got to go to work and made all this money. Now, can they make more money? Yeah, that's fine, but it's just out of hand now. It's just, and you're not making more money telling the truth, or trying to teach the youngsters the game or the past history of the game. You're out here telling lies, and you're out here telling half truths just to sell your channel. This is where the world is. This is where the world is, basically a devil world full of devil people telling lies to make money. That's what they say. The money is evil. Money is a root of all evil, right? So this is what these guys, even the guys on ESPN, this is supposed to be the top authority on sports, ESPN, and they're out here lying and telling half truths. This is crazy. This is crazy. And when you watch these NFL games, they don't really slurp on players. They just do the play by play, You kind of got rivalries, but it's just a better game. People are looking forward to seeing this one game a week, supporting their team. Players aren't chasing fans away from the league. Players are pretty much playing with effort and playing position. NFL, it's just so good. They get the top announcers. Now they got Brady on here. He's trying to work his way up the chain or whatever like that. He was a little shaky when he first got on there. Um, he's doing pretty decent now. And I think the only problem really he has is when the camera is on him and he's got to talk, he looks a little nervous. You know what I'm saying? But maybe that's what the NBA needs to do. Just play one game a week. So the people would really want to see this game. So these players would really play when they do play. Because it's just not like that. And Gilbert Arenas, he said something about the reason why the ratings are down. He blamed this on the league pass. He blamed this on the league pass. Even though you got the league pass, you can't see your local team. Now you would have to get cable or whatever that is, streaming or something to see a local team because your local team isn't on there. So now you're paying more money, and a lot of teams that you did pay for on League Pass, you can't find them. This is ridiculous. We didn't have no League Pass I don't think so in the early 2000s, but I don't remember in the 90s or the 80s. I just dudes tuned in and watched these men go to work. They had positional skills. They played a position. They didn't scare the fans away. They didn't super team hop for the most part, unless they was out of their prime or something like that. And when you see these teams back in the day that was out of their prime and they super team, what did they win? Basically nothing. Basically nothing, because when you were out of your prime, that means you were out of your prime, and the younger players were just better. And LeBron kind of proved that when he was in Cleveland the first time. And that Boston team only had the number one seed one time in the East, right? These guys were out of their prime. They didn't win when they were together. They didn't win an MVP. None of them. These guys were out of their prime. That's why they came together, because they couldn't carry a team by themselves. They were 10 plus years into their career when they came and built that super team. So let's get back into this, because I will start rambling about a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, this guy Anthony Edwards, to me, I don't care about his stats. They're not bad. But in a soft, weak era, when we were talking about he came in 1920, don't compare that to, oh man, he was young when he came in. He didn't come into the 80s. He didn't come into the 90s. He didn't come into the early 2000s. LeBron, for comparison, LeBron came in when he was 18, right? Into a tougher league where LeBron couldn't even make the playoffs his first two seasons, right? And uh, and LeBron, his second season, put up 27, 7-7. So what's the excuse for Anthony Edwards when LeBron put that up at 19? Anthony Edwards couldn't put that up at 19. But they want to bunny hop this dude over LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, all the great players, and put this guy in some comparison to Michael Jordan. So all this hype that this guy got for doing basic dunks last year, like I said, you guys get all excited when you see just a dunk. Big deal, because it's a three-point shooting contest. Even though we're told this is the most athletic era of all time, skinny three-point shooters. Now when you guys see a guy dunk, you guys are like, you guys are beside yourselves. We've seen this on a nightly basis, especially in the 90s. Big time dunks by big time players. It wasn't nothing big to us, right? So this comparison to Michael Jordan, it came out big last year, which is Anthony Edwards, who in that summer, he lost in the 23 FIBA, let the fake Rondo Schroeder in Germany, the Plumber crew, win the gold medal. If I'm not mistaken, that's the team who won the gold medal. And he couldn't even place to get a medal. Now, we're going to talk about the season this year, but I'm just saying, then LeBron James built a 24 Olympic team, and he said, okay, boy, if you want to play, you ride the bench. I mean, that's a whole story in itself. Michael Jordan would never come off the bench. Never. Especially at that age, going to the Olympics, especially being benched by a dude, LeBron James, who has no bag, can't shoot the three, can't shoot the two, the mid-range, can't give you no post work, can't shoot free throws, a turnover machine, slides Curry over to the shooting guard, out of the point guard, and LeBron said he's going to be the point guard, right? And Anthony Edwards, you have to come off the bench. I was eating that up in the summer. I just couldn't even. This guy talked all that trash last season and saying this and this, and that guy is riding the bench for a 40-year-old choke artist, meltdown artist, super team builder, no bag having. This guy puts you on the bench, Anthony Edwards. I would just quit the NBA after that, bro. I would quit the NBA after that. And he was talking all this mess and before the Olympics started. They're going to have to watch out for me. They're going to have to watch out for me. Yeah, he had a couple good games, but he really was. He didn't really mean nothing in the whole grand scheme of things, like Kevin Durant, um, Curry, even LeBron was playing better than him. So I would just run with my tail between my legs after that. Me riding the bench like that. And so he comes into this season and he's not having a bad season. I'm not trying to say he's having a bad season, but for them to compare you to Michael Jordan in these comparisons, you would think, okay, the way he lost last year, um, to the Mavs, and he walked off the court crying like a little girl. Michael Jordan would never do that. And let me say something else. This whole thing about Michael Jordan was a trash talker and was intimidating to his opponents and all this stuff. This really wasn't until the 90s. Michael Jordan wasn't like that in the 80s. Michael Jordan came into the league and he had to prove himself. He was um he was gracious, he was kind, he was everything, whether he won or he lost in the 80s, right? I don't think he really turned into that guy that we talked about that, trashed his teammates to that certain extent and really talked a lot of trash on the court until I think about like 1990, right? The guy was sick of losing. The guy was sick of carrying teams. And he wanted what Magic had. He wanted what Magic had, Bird had, all these great players in front of him. And he did his part. So eventually he had to be a butthole to his team. Eventually he started trash talking the league and doing all this stuff and getting revenge and all this stuff. You really didn't hear too much about this in the 80s. Okay, Michael Jordan was still a different guy. And what I'm trying to say by that is the way Anthony Edwards talks, and the people say, "Oh, Anthony, we like the way he's doing it, man. He's trash talking like Michael Jordan." No, Michael Jordan wasn't trash talking like that at 22 years old. Michael Jordan wasn't trash talking, and he was like, wasn't even top five in the league. The top five players in the league the past, 3 to 5 years, who has it been? Joker, Luca, um, SGA. You could throw LeBron in there. You could throw, a whole bunch of different cats in there, but it definitely ain't been no damn Anthony Edwards. He's living off of hype. Yes, he has potential. Yes, he has athleticism. Yes, he has game. But Michael Jordan was always in the 80s a top three player guaranteed, right? And he proved it on the uh, offensive end by winning the scoring titles and on first team defensive. This guy ain't even made a defensive team. In this off week era, all you have to do is pretty much act like you're playing defense and you're gonna make a defensive team. And this guy can't even make a defensive second team. This is crazy, boy. This this is nuts. So let's get into this, right? Like I said, you would think that this guy would have something to prove with the Michael Jordan comparisons that he's been getting, the way he lost against the Mavs and was crying, the way he got benched for the turnover, bagless king. You would think he have more to prove, and I don't think he's really done it so far. When we look at league leaders in stats, this is on Google, but this is the funny thing is it says stats and it's showing you all the top five players. But when you click on, it says over here, it says overview teams, players, and stats. So when I clicked on players, because I clicked on stats because that's what I'm going to talk about right now. But when I clicked on players, this is hilarious. This is what it brought up. These are the guys in order when they talk about. I don't know what they're meaning by this. It just says NBA league and it says players, and all these guys that play in the NBA are in this order. So I guess it's maybe the most famous, the most talked about. I don't know what it is, but they got LeBron James at number one. No surprise. No surprise that this guy is number one. And Joker has won 3 MVPs out of 4 seasons, is about to win his fourth. And LeBron is number one for some reason. This is crazy. So when LeBron retires, don't be surprised when this league crashes and burns because the ESPN, Fox Sports, the NBA, they refuse to promote as the face of the league a three-time MVP that is about to win four MVPs. It's ridiculous. You never would have thought anything like this. And I was saying this to Sports and Fitness Rants the other day. I said he put up something. He put up a post. I forget what it was, but it was a promotion of what was it? Dan versus I forget the other guy's name. It was two Olympians or whatever like that. But I just told him the advertisement in the '90s. It was great, man. The way they promoted sports, movies, sitcoms, anything. It was over the top, man. Music, artists. It was over the top, man. It was great. And the NBA isn't like that no more. I don't think pop culture, the promotion of pop culture, is not good anymore. It probably coincides with everything is low standard now. Sports, music, movies, sitcoms, a lot of stuff. So they're not really putting nothing into it. You don't have producers and executive producers and authors and all these people at the highest level doing anything anymore in pop culture, movies, music, sitcoms, sports. I don't know. So I guess they're not putting money into advertisement like they used to. But yeah, you got LeBron James, one. You got Curry, two. And then you got Bronny James, number three. Can't make this stuff up, folks. So just type in NBA. What did I type in? Just type into Google NBA leaders, and it's going to come up on Google. It's going to say NBA League one, but you can press on overview, the next one teams, the next one players, and the next one stats. So I'm on players right now, and Bronny James is number three, Victor Wembanyama 4, Klay Thompson 5, Dalton Connect 6th, and Joker is 7th. And I'm not going to keep going down the list. It's just crazy. Greek Freak is like number 8. It's nuts, man. So let's go back to these stats. In the league leaders, this season in points, you got Giannis at 32, Joker at 30, LaMelo Ball at 30, Anthony Davis at 30, Jason Tatum at 30. Jason Tatum at 30. So where the hell is the next Michael Jordan? This guy is now 5 years into the league. And like I told you before, this guy wasn't top 5 in, what was it? He wasn't even top 10 in most stats since he came into the season. I think he made top 10 in scoring last season. But he wasn't number 5. And I don't think he was number 6. I think he was number 8 or something like that. But he wasn't top 10 in steals, blocks, assists, or nothing like that last year. So he's not top 5 in points per game. Luka fell the hell off. I don't know what happened to him. And then rebounds per game. Of course, he's not going to be in that, but it's Joker, Sabonis, Zubac, Karl Anthony Towns, and Greek Freak. And then assists, Trae Young, Joker, LeBron James, I don't know this guy's name, Cunningham, James Harden. Field goal percentage, Gafford, Allen, Gobert, Sabonis. I don't know this guy, Jackson Davis. 3-pointers made. And you would think he would be in this because Anthony Edwards, I think he's shooting 43 from the field, from the three. 3-pointers made. LaMelo Ball, number 1. No, excuse me. I take that back. He is here. I didn't see him at first. Anthony Edwards, right behind LaMelo Ball. Jason Tatum, Beasley, and C. White. I don't know this guy's name. But 3-point percentage. You got, I don't know this guy. Green from the Hornets. Joker at number 2. I don't know this guy. T. Jerome with the Cavs. You got Prince with the Bucks, and you got Kyrie Irving at number 5. And then even if we go down here to steals, he's not even on here. Daniels, Williams, Poole, Caruso, Bam Adebayo. So these things that Michael Jordan was known for, points per game, and steals, he's not even on here. And Michael Jordan was, at that age, I think he was almost 7 rebounds, or 5 seasons in, I think he was almost 7 rebounds per game and 6 assists per game. So what I'm trying to say is, forget about the Michael Jordan comparisons. This guy ain't even top 5 in his own damn era. He has never been since he came into the NBA in this soft week era. He wasn't last year, and he's not this year. This guy can't even give you 30 points per game in this soft week era. Forget about playing defense, because this guy ain't playing defense, right? Obviously, because he ain't made a defensive team, and I don't think he is this year. He's not. He don't have 2 steals a game. Let me see. Steals, no. The when we talk about the top 5, we got Daniels 3.2, something, whoever this is, Jay Williams with the Thunder 2.2, Essen, I think that's his name, with the Rockets 2.2, Poole with the Wizards 1.9, Caruso 1.8, and even a center, Bam, at 1.8. And this is what I mean. You guys, the Anthony Edwards fan base, they want to beat up on me when I say something about Anthony Edwards, but this was his year to come out and say, look, well, you don't even say nothing. You just keep your mouth shut and you do it. That's what Michael Jordan did. That's what great players did. They don't talk. They don't tell their plan. Who the hell will tell their plan? A fool? All the so-called black leaders in the past, they get up on TV and they announce their plan to the world, to the man. All these so-called civil rights, black freedom fighters, and all these, I call them government characters, because who would tell their plan to the man? Who will get up on TV that you say these people are against you, and you announce your plan to get ahead of them? It just don't make no sense, man. That's why other cultures, they don't announce their plan, they just do it. They just don't buy from you. And you don't have no business. You don't buy from us, we won't buy from you. But the problem is, you buy from them, but they don't buy from you, and they still come out on top. So that's a whole different subject, man. Like I said, I get the rambling sometimes. A lot of stuff in this world doesn't make any sense. But yeah, this guy, Anthony Edwards, he's been a big disappointment to me. If you're good with his 27 points per game, or 27, 5 and 4, and I don't know what he's got. He like 1.4 steals or something like that. It just, this ain't a guy who, and a lot of these guys are like this today. It must be an American thing or something. I don't know. But the international players, they be out here to prove something. SGA be out here to prove something. You would think Ja Morant would be out here to prove something, trying to put up like 30 points per game. And it's who's stopping you? Joker's like, who's stopping me from putting up damn 29, 12, and 10? Who's stopping me? You see this guy, you see this guy can't even jump over a damn piece of paper, just out there dribbling the hell out of the ball, and doing what he wants to do, and these guys is bouncing off of him. Bouncing off of him. And Joker out here giving these dudes the work. And this is what Luka been doing. I don't know what's wrong with him this season, but since he came into the league, he been giving these dudes the work. Okay? So don't tell me about no Anthony. Look, Luka was the same age when he came in. Luka, I think Luka maybe was like a year older than Anthony Edwards. So the whole age thing, the whole age excuse is out the door. Y'all bring up the age thing when you say, oh man, this guy did this at this age. But what, how come he ain't doing this at this age? How come he ain't dominating the league if he's the next Michael Jordan? How come 2 plumbers is dominating the league? This will run people off. You guys are telling us how this is the most athletic era of all time, but you got 2 plumbers dominating the league. And it's not because to me, they're not these great dominant players that I would, say they're better than these guys in the past. It's just because they know this is a soft, weak era. So we're going to dominate it. And that's what they've been doing, especially Joker. Joker had AD looking tired as hell yesterday, running AD all around the damn court. AD running around grimacing. Well, you shouldn't have played in the Olympics, dude. Ask LeBron how he's still running around after 22 seasons, after playing in 22 season regular season games, all these playoff games, all these finals games, all these FIBA games, all these Olympic games. Ask him how he's able to do it. And don't tell me lifting weights. Don't tell me lifting weights, because Karl Malone was lifting damn weights and he was breaking down. So y'all better go and get some of that potion from LeBron James. Y'all better go get some of that potion. That's real talk. Because something ain't right. Everybody's breaking down, but LeBron is not breaking down. After all that he been running the court, doing after all these years, in all these tournaments, all these FIBAs, all these Olympics, all these playoffs, all these finals. This is the greatest. I don't know, longevity king of all time. I won't say the greatest athlete. Of course he's not, but maybe the potion he's taking is working out better for his bloodstream than anybody else in history. Let's put it that way. I don't care. I'm not looking at his percentages, his averages, what he's doing on the court as far as a basketball player. It's just, to me, it's impossible for, after 22 seasons, after all those regular season games, those playoff games, those finals games, those FIBA games, those Olympic games, for you to just still be running around like that. It never had no major injury. God, I mean, this guy should be out there selling his secret on how he's doing this. And if you guys say he's doing it off of lifting weights and going to the gym, well, he needs to get everybody in there that wants to know, so they can play 22 years and run it. And now they're in a run and gun. They're in a run and gun league now. He needs to, the people that want to get his formula on how he's been doing it for 22 straight years. They need to find out what this guy does. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's unreal. So, Anthony Edwards, I mean, you ain't proved nothing to me, man. You've been a big disappointment. You're not in the top 5 this year in, steals, rebounds, assists, points per game, nothing. And the fact is, you can't give me 30 points per game. I really thought, I was like, okay, man, they traded Karl Anthony Towns. I see what they're doing, man. I see what they're doing. They want to give Anthony Edwards more touches because obviously Randall, he's going to get hurt. He always does. He's coming off, being hurt and all this stuff in New York. So even if he's not hurt, he's going to get less touches, and eventually he's going to be hurt anyway. He's going to be out. So I'm thinking, yeah, I know what they're doing, man. Timberwolves, they're getting, Karl Anthony Towns over there. So, the next Michael Jordan could get more touches. He's going to be putting up 30 points per game. That's what I said. This guy's going to be putting up 30 points a game, trying to prove people wrong. He's going to be getting like 6 rebounds, trying to be this Michael Jordan-like guy. Nope. 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 And nope. And let's not forget, Michael Jordan wasn't only averaging, 35, 37, 32, whatever it was, right? At 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. But he was also putting up 50 point games, 40-point games, and 60-point games on the regular. On the regular. Right? While shooting 50%, while shooting 60%, some of the games he was shooting 70%, was a good free throw shooter, was giving you, 3 steals a game, giving you 6 rebounds, giving you 5 to 6 assists, had the world at his damn knees because they never seen nothing like this. So these guys are supposed to be so more athletic. They should have passed Jordan. They should have passed Michael Jordan in athleticism. They should have passed Kobe Bryant in the 2020s. They should have passed they ain't even got the athleticism Grant Hill got. They should have passed Dominique Wilkins in athleticism. They should have passed Dr. J in athleticism. These guys like that, man. They should have passed Vince Carter in athleticism. If the 2020s it is the most athletic era of all time. I just don't see none of these guys as athletic as the guys I just named. And I didn't even name all the guys. We could say Tracy McGrady. They're not even as athletic as young LeBron in his 2020s. And all the guys I just got done naming, I don't think Anthony Edwards is more athletic than them guys. And some of them, he's not even as athletic as those guys. This is a guy that's scared to dunk in the dunk contest. Well, I wouldn't say he's scared, but he hasn't participated. Why not? He should have did that when he come in his rookie season. What about his second season? What about his third season? What about last season? Crickets. Crickets from the Anthony Edwards fans. Well, what'll happen? This so-called greatest athletic era of all time will let another plumber win a three. This is going to be sad. If they let this plumber win a three-peat, a plumber who don't even play in the NBA, what's his name, Matt McClung? How this guy ain't even in the NBA is baffling. Bronny is in the NBA, but Matt McClung ain't. And Matt McClung wasn't he playing for the Lakers or something like that in the G League? Oh, what an embarrassment! So this guy wins. A plumber wins a three-peat dunk contest. On these guys' watch, these so-called athletic guys. He beat Jaylen Brown last year. How about that? He beat Jaylen Brown last year. So this is the next Michael Jordan. Why don't he put it on his shoulders? We got to bring it back home, man. Got to bring that dunk contest back home. Ain't no plumber about to win no three-peat on my watch. Why he don't do that? Because he wouldn't he have the whole crowd behind him in the backing of basically all the NBA fans to push this plumber out of dunk contest. But guess what? He ain't got the skills. He ain't got the dunk skills of this plumber. He ain't got it. These guys are scared. I don't know who else is the high flyers in this era. I don't know. I don't see too many. Supposed to be good dunkers. Who is it? Who are the guys? I just don't know. Who are they? Because all I can think about is the so-called great dunkers is Zion Williams and Anthony Edwards. Where's the rest? Oh, well, that's what he can do. Anthony Edwards can partake in the three-point contest, right? Since he shoots 11 threes a game, and he's shooting like, what, 43%? We'll show you right. They say he's a good three-point shooter now. Think he's taking more than half of his shots or something close as threes? Well, they just do that. They put Anthony Edwards, Victor Wembanyama, who thinks he's a three-point shooter, thinks he's a guard because he shoots half of his shots. When you go look at it this year, half of his attempts been from three. That's insane. Put those two in the three-point contest. Put them in there with Curry. I mean, hell, we had sinners in the dunk contest back in the day. But these dudes is scared to we had sinners and power forwards in the dunk contest back in the day. So, look, I know a lot of you guys knew it was coming. And then a lot of guys said, oh, man, there ain't no way he can get on Anthony Edwards, man. That man put up 27. It's not good enough. It's not good enough when you're not a top 5 scorer. You wasn't last year. You wasn't the year before. You're not a two-way player. You're a fraud. You are a fraud. If you was just some normal dude that didn't compare to Michael Jordan, you didn't run your mouth, right? It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. It'd just be another dude. He's playing good. He's playing good. He's not playing great. He's not upper echelon. If he's not in the top 5 scorers, he's not playing great, and he's not upper echelon. And he damn sure ain't no two-way player. He Look, man, I could ride on this guy for a next hour, but it's really not unfair. This guy is like childlike in his behavior. A lot of these guys, I see them, and they grow up in a middle class neighborhood, and they're these new John Morants. That's what I call them, the new John Morants, right? That grow up either middle class, upper middle class, lower middle class, go to good schools and stuff like that, but they go out and portray this studio gangster life, right? That's what they portray because they want to be cool and they want to be in pop culture, and they want to act like they from the streets. They want to act like they talk like dudes from the streets. They act like they grew up and had it rough. This is what these guys do. This is what these guys do, man. This is the new John Morant era. They don't know about being born in the projects. I was born in the projects. They don't know about not having no food in the house in the summertime. And the only reason why you like going to school is because you could eat breakfast and lunch. When school was out for the summer, it wasn't no food. When it was 3 kids in the house, there's never no food in a single parent. This ain't how most of these NBA players grew up in this era. Most of these dudes is, like I said, from the suburbs. And they're studio gangsters. And that's why they act the way they act. That's why they act all bratish, spoiled, want everything given to them, don't want to work on their game, want to be compared to other greats, but haven't done it. This is this new era type of guys. They don't want to uphold the standard. They want to carry and travel and carry and travel, and then laugh about it too when they get away with it. They'll start. I just seen this guy. Dude literally traveled, took like 6 steps to the basket, scored. The ref didn't call it, and he turned around and started laughing. This guy is a mockery. He makes a mockery of the NBA and basically making mockery of the fans. So, tell me what you think.